afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, fans of Skytear. Welcome to another episode of Skytear Sunday. I am the Commander reporting in for duty once again, and joining me is the man who holds the distinct record for being the only king to reign for exactly 1 week, Ryan.
Didn't Ricardo only reign for 1 week too when I took him out?
No, he was 2. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, fans of
I guess if you're saying he started as the king and then won the first one.
Exactly, I'm giving him the credit. I just needed a good way to dunk on you.
I was under the assumption there was no real king before the first week, and so then he won one and then lost the week after.
Well, that's what you get when you assume, isn't it? All right, so welcome, ladies and gentlemen, as we get started here. While we go ahead and let the competitors go ahead and draft, we will give you the pregame results here. During the coin toss, GrayGhost won, and instead of giving the choice of outsider over to Chris and risk seeing the Terror of Endless Night, GrayGhost decided to use the outsider, and so therefore Cdubs elected to choose the first player. Of course, remember that because GrayGhost won with a flawless victory, there were no restraints on his deck building except for the community-selected Ishitosk, which we do see coming onto the field right there. Other than that, GrayGhost was free to summon any other heroes, and as you can see, did go for the mono-green approach, bringing also Zakol, Tilakali, Kotlik, Neliclin, and Akla. So we'll see what he decides to use to complement the taxi.
And naturally, as GrayGhost is a notorious yellow player, Cdubs is bringing the yellow deck.
Yeah, that's kind of a slap in the face, because we told him that he's not allowed to do that, so Cdubs is like, yo, we're going to go red-yellow aggression with a splash of Eckert and oh, God. Why would you bring Kenway when you have a Cootie? Like, I just don't understand you, Cdubs. Oh, well. So Cdubs...
He has a Cootie and Kenway. He has both of them on his team.
That's just... whatever. Alright, we also see some mage damage coming in from Cythero. I assume Yami will be brought in here at some point. Yami is just so good on the map, even after the Season 2 update changes. Her ability to just fly all over this map with her worship and her skirmish, being able to torch minions now in 2 different ways, or excuse me, with 2 different actions, I should say, just still lends her to being extremely powerful on this particular map.
Oh, I think Yami is even more powerful with the new changes, because she can now deal damage to a hero and kill a minion with a single skirmish action.
It's true. We see Chris... Oh, by the way, while we are waiting, since it did not refresh for us there, we can see that our victory conditions for this particular game are an all-star cast for the fans and the casters and the players alike. We have Hunting for Power, Kill the Outsider, Win the Game, which with the OG Outsider, going to be a little bit difficult. Skytear Master, win the lead of a control token inside the dome. Remember, of course, with the Season 2 changes, there is, technically speaking, only one dome split into 2 parts. So therefore, you will need to win the dome overall 3 times to win. And then finally, your favorite victory objective, Obstinacy. Defeat the same hero twice.
Yeah, well, so first, before I get into how dumb Obstinacy is on Ashen Pass, before I get into that, you mentioned that Outsider is the hardest, it's probably the hardest one to kill for Hunting for Power, but other than the HP and the armor, it'd be the fact that it can't move with the new Outsider chain means the Outsiders can take an attack or a skirmish against the damaging hero or take a move and run away, but as the Outsider can't move, it's oftentimes actually the easiest as long as you have some way to deal piercing damage. And we do see that GrayGhost does have Sethru on his team, so he does have that mage.
Yep. All right, well, with the draft over, let's go ahead and scroll in a little bit so we're not trying to identify what 3 pixels are on the map. So I will leave you to let us know about any shenanigans that are going on outside of the board. And we do see our completed drafts here on the sides of your screen. Challenger Chris on your left side is bringing Cythero, Akuti, and Yami with Eckert as the reserve hero. And our current reigning king, GrayGhost, has his Ishitosk, Zakol, Tilakali, and a Neliclin in reserve. Doing a lot of shuffling. Yep. We're going to go ahead and mulligan. Obviously, another new exciting thing, too, is the increase in the hand size, as well as the additional card draw. And so, now that we have these down, not able to necessarily upload these for your viewing pleasure, as we did kind of run a little bit of a tight ship. You did notice that we did get started about 15 minutes overtime for those of you who are watching live, and we do apologize for that. We won't disclose the fact that Cdubs kind of slept in. That would be rude. Oh, wait, whoops. So anyways, we'll go ahead and kind of give you a quick rundown of what the decks may hold. So if we go ahead, highlight the 4 that he brought. Oops, that's the wrong one. So GrayGhost has an average modifier of 1.25, average mana of 1.88. His deck list includes 2 Chasms, 2 Dooms, 3 Dragon Punches, 3 Dreams of Talent, 1 From Below, 3 Granite Skin, 3 Impervious, 3 Presence, 3 Rampant Hatred, 3 Sacrifice, 3 Shield Slam, 3 Sinkhole, 2 Slide, 3 Stone Barricades, and of course the Hero Ultimates. Ryan, would you like to go over Chris's list?
Dang, I had the other list up.
Oops, alright, well, in that case, don't worry, I got you covered. I'm used to it. So, Cdubs running a slightly... Oh, you got it? Alright, very good. Take it away then.
Give me 1 sec. I need to put in the 4 heroes to use so I know which ones to read off. Wait.
We had Akuti, Cytheru, Yami, and Ekrit.
Okay, so he has 3 Barring the Way, 1 Chasm, 2 Combustion, 1 Eye of the Storm, 1 Hurricane Strike, 1 Kneel Before Me, 1 Last Judgment, 3 Migraine, 3 Nightmares Incarnate, 3 Psychic Shield, 2 Quick Shot, 3 Redirect, 3 Soul Scream, 3 Time Glitch, 2 Triumph of the Light,
Ooh.
1 Twister of Souls, 3 Unstoppable, 3 Wind Blast, and, of course, the Word of Nupton.
Yep. All right, so a lot of damage potential coming out from Chris's list, especially with the new changes to the illusion tokens now being able to be projected within 3 as opposed to within line of sight. Means that we could see Cytheru making some use of being in either the lane and then attacking in the dome through his illusion, or vice versa.
Interestingly, Chris sees Tlakali, Ixatas, Lakol on the other team, which is something I have used against him several times in sort of like a control Unburial Rights way. And so he thinks, oh, I should be worried about Unburial Rights. And so he brought Akuti with the ability to... the Barring the Ways to deal with Unburial Rights. But
indeed,
in case you didn't notice, there is no Unburial Rights in GrayGhost list.
It's true. We noticed. All right, so looks like we are getting started though here.
Yep.
And we're going to see double minion deletion here as Chris goes ahead and moves with Ekrit. Moves with Akuti, worships to summon the illusion, attacks the minion that is not adjacent to her, that is not lower down there, because of course then you can flip against the minion that is adjacent to the illusion, killing 2 for 1 stone, and since Tlakali did not get to go and there were no Dreams of Talent for GrayGhost, unable to protect his minions.
I want to take this opportunity because I believe this is the first stream on Ashen Pass since the new rules.
I believe you're correct, yes.
Opportunity to go over some of the Ashen Pass rule changes for people who are not fully aware of that. One major change we have is that rather than having 2 separate domes, each with their own outsider,
yes,
it's now 1 split dome with 1 outsider. So you add up the controls in both sides, and whoever has higher wins the 1 outsider.
Pour 1 out for the double domes. We will miss you.
Yeah, RG is not a fan of that rule, in case you couldn't tell.
No.
The other really major change on Ashen Pass is the spawn rules.
Yes.
Previously, once the hero has died, it was dead, for good, never coming back, and the new next tier would come in immediately in the same state.
Yes.
Now, the spawn rules are now more in line with 2-lane. When a hero dies, it becomes the reserve, and the hero that was in reserves comes back at the same speed as 2-lane. So if it was ready, it comes back next round. If it was exhausted, it comes back in 2 rounds.
Indeed. So a little bit more crippling, I think. If you kill off a hero after they've activated, essentially you'll get 2 rounds of control resolution where you have 3 to their 2. Meanwhile, we do see Tlakali, going in for the move attack, and I presume a lead action. There's not really much point in worshipping since almost all your minions are dead anyway. Although GrayGhost may opt to elect to summon a pillar just to protect that last minion. And indeed he does. Does not go for the lead action. So we'll see that. Oh! Interesting.
Is he planning to tax these all over there?
He must be, because in that situation, Tlakali can see that pillar now, similar to the illusion changes that we mentioned, pillars also now activate within 3. However, for the minion to actually be protected by Tlecali's power, the minion must be adjacent to the pillar. So I have to assume that you're correct there, and that we're going to see some Ixotaxi shenanigans and perhaps some early aggression against Cytheru.
Yeah, except Cytheru's on the other side.
This is very true. Well, I guess if you taxi Zakol such that he's in the cover hex that's right 2 above Yami, then he's then within striking range of Cytheru. So you can kind of like skirmish over, attack him, punch him in the face, and move him if you so chose, I guess.
Except that hex is 7 hexes away from where Zakol is right now. And the tunnel.
The taxi's only 6. That's fair. Well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. I believe this was also GrayGhost's first time playing green, and he mentioned to us before the game that he has played exactly 1.5 games on Ashen Pass since the rule changes.
It's true.
This is definitely not his forte, but he's a good player, and I'm sure he will give us some very exciting plays.
Indeed. I believe he was part of the World Championship player base last year, was he not?
Correct. He won the November qualifier, beating me in the semifinals and Smoothaz in the finals.
Aha. Meanwhile, we see that Yami does go for the move and then the skirmish. Again, remember, with more of the rules changes, similar to what Ryan mentioned earlier, one of the new rules changes is that skirmish is now move 2 as opposed to the old rule of move 1 and move 1. So Yami is now, in fact, able to kill minions by stepping over them. All praise to Yami. She continues to get better. And then,
except that was a move action, not a skirmish action. But yes.
No, she moved and then skirmished. Oh, I see what you're saying. Never mind. Ignore me. Keep going. Keep it going. Keep it going. Ignore me.
What you said was in fact true. She can't do that. She didn't there.
That's true. Again, praise Yami. And so we do see that Yami goes over into the dome. Now, again, as Ryan illustrated earlier, the dome, even though the domes are marked with 2 and 3, they do resolve as a single control challenge. And so therefore, we will add the total control values of any hero on either side of the dome. Still does apply that you can only have 1 lead card at max to be used for the dome. So, we can't really double dip. For example, if Yami were to able to lead in the 3 area and then Cytheru lead in the 2 area, you still have to choose one of each. And Chris is mad pinging the hex for reasons that I'm not sure of.
That was the hex that they removed.
Oh, I see. Okay, so he's kind of keeping the ping to where the removed pillar was. And as you predicted, we do see the Ixotaxi. Now, of course, Ishitosk's ability, since not a very common hero, we do see some Ishitosk play. When Ishitosk worships, Ishitosk and up to 1 friendly hero adjacent to him may move 6 hexes. They must end their movement adjacent to the removed pillar. And so we do see Ishitosk and Zakol both ending where that old pillar was, gaining substantial ground here for the play. Zakol now in the dome, able to match Yami. And with Zakol being able to go second, well, if Cytheru goes over there and leads with a 3, then automatically GrayGhost will lose the dome, but we'll see what happens here. Okay, we are going to lead in the center, though.
Why did he skirmish instead of attacking a minion?
That is a good question. Chris does have the flux. Although I don't think there's anything... I mean, no, he doesn't have a slide. Slide is green. I'm not sure if he was afraid of something. Yeah, I think popping one of the minions would have been a better call, because you could still lead from where he was.
Right.
Where Ishitosk was, and be able to influence the lane control point. Oh well, Cytheru's going... Oh boy, here we go. Cytheru going to move into the cover hex there. Is it a skirmish action? If only our players used the buttons, we would be able to decide.
Yeah. One thing is, neither... Chris does not have a lead in either anywhere yet. So
true.
And GrayGhost does have the ability to kind of get Zakol anywhere here with a move and a skirmish, and could push either Yami into the dome or Akudi out of the lane.
Yes.
Sorry, Akudi out of the dome or Akudi out of the lane.
Indeed, yes. With that pillar down, Zakol could kick Yami over into the cover hex. She would then be able to influence the lane here, but with GrayGhost leading from the hand, very likely that it will be a 3-mana card for his Ishitosk lead there. Oh, and the +3 on the flip from Satheru. That's going to be piercing damage, and it was the attack action, which means Ishitosk going to take heavy damage, brought down to 11 immediately.
I'm assuming the last action here will be a lead.
I think so. Otherwise, Chris's tower
yeah.
is going to be in huge trouble. There we go. And a lead action.
Yeah.
Actually, Chris has 2 minions, so his tower, even without a lead, his tower would only be, like, threatened. Because GrayGhost doesn't have any minions left at this point.
Mm-hmm. Correct. If Ishitosk had attacked that minion...
Right.
I think what he's the reason why he's going for, I think he's planning to use a Cole's Worship to blow up that minion, and that was the only minion Ishitosk could attack there, so he figured he was getting...
Good call. Good call. That would make sense.
So perhaps we'll see Worship to blow up the minion, and then some play to either push Yami out of the dome or a lead. Either one should give him the dome.
Yep.
Lead's probably safer if he wants to play around a Time Warp.
I think so, yeah, because Chris does have the flex, and we know what all is in Chris's deck. But GrayGhost obviously does not have the master eyes that we do. So we know that Time Warp is not going to be on the field, but with Nupton, you always have to be considerate of that tricky end-of-turn shenanigans.
Correct. GrayGhost may not be an expert on green, but he does know his yellow.
It's
Nightmare's
true.
Incarnate Killer in response to the Worship. That's going to mess up that clip.
Akuti with the Nightmares Incarnate. Chris does pop the Flex there to do that, so interesting use of the Flex. Most players will save it for either a turn 1 Presence or a turn 2 Rampant, but in this case we're going to Nightmares Incarnate the Pillar instead, thus meaning that that collapse that you mentioned from Zakol is not going to actually occur.
Yes. Now, well, as I was saying before, GrayGhost not being the biggest expert on green, but he is a huge expert on yellow, so
yes.
He knows exactly what cards Chris could have and that he might need to be playing around.
Indeed, and as we see after that was fizzled there, we do see Zakol skirmish into position, no damage from a 0 flip against Yami, does hit her with the attack action, and then manages to push her out of the dome, so this will give... this will give GrayGhost 1 control point, one victory point on the Skytear Master.
Ooh,
but a Shield Slam comes out. Very nice. All right, so Shield Slam.
So that's why he went to the center.
Indeed.
He could Shield Slam one and the collapse to get the other. Unfortunately, the collapse didn't work because of the Nightmares Incarnate, but he did have plans to get both of the minions.
Indeed. All right, where is Shield Slam so we can bring that up here? Just so we can see this. There we are. So Shield Slam, as we can see, allows you to deal piercing damage. Of course, Ishitosk with... Chris is destroying his own tower. That's not how you win the game, Chris. Come on now. Shield Slam allows you to damage a target adjacent enemy and deal piercing damage equal to the caster's armor. Obviously, Ishitosk being a tank class hero does have 2 armor, and so therefore, dead minion.
Yep. And Chris led with a Wind Blast,
yep.
And GrayGhost led with a... So they have matching leads, but as Wait, that should have pushed 3, right? One more hero and one more mini. Oh, that's 2. One more mini, one more hero. Never mind. I can count.
It's true. Math is difficult.
One more hero, one more minion. Yep. This is why they changed the disarm rules, because math is difficult, and as we all saw, everyone can count to 2.
Well... Some of us can. You know what they say, those who can do, those who can't commentate.
Exactly, I guess. Anyway, we never really talked too much about we went too deep into the victory conditions here. We have we mentioned them, but as I was mentioning the new respawn rules on Ashen Pass, it means to get obstinacy, you have to kill a hero, then the reserve has to come in. One more hero has to die, so the first hero then comes back. and then you have to kill that hero again. So it's a lot harder to get an obstinacy on Ashen Pass than it is on 2-lane, which is part of the reason why I hate it, because you need to kill 3 heroes, so it's just a harder onslaught.
Indeed. And so with this, actually, we will see that Chris is going to actually win control both of the lane and the dome. Zakol is unopposed for a 1-0 victory here.
GrayGhost won the dome.
Or, I'm sorry, GrayGhost. Excuse me. I
know it's weird seeing him not use.
I know and so I just kind of dealt in that. So GrayGhost actually wins the outsider, and again, of course, as you saw from the card that we just flashed up, the outsider is able to spawn across the perimeter of either dome side. That is one of the changes with the rules. You can now spawn the outsider in either of the dome parts, conditional, of course, on its base spawn conditions. And we do see that, unsurprisingly, the outsider is going to start wailing on Cytheru.
Yeah. No. Also, because the dome is now one dome, the outsider can spawn on either side, but he chose to spawn on the side that he wanted on. I'm not sure if that's because he's not used to the new rules and forgot that he could spawn on the other side where he is, or if that's just because it's further away from Cdubs heroes and wants to kind of protect from being killed through onslaught or him getting cards from attacking it with hunting for power.
Indeed. Well, we did see there, so he did use the Shockwave skill, outsider skill number 2, in order to deal a little bit more damage and then knock Cytheru back too. And then he is going to use the final outsider skill, which is the worship ability here. Bring those back up. The Divine Conduit, where target friendly hero can take a worship action. And so you do see that he is going to have Zakol take that worship action and delete a minion.
Yep, very, very logical play here.
Indeed.
So now that we're already past the whole first round, how do you think this game is going to end?
Ooh. You mean in terms of victory conditions?
Yes.
Well, let's see. Cdubs has a slight advantage here in terms of lane pressure, whereas Cytheru is starting to look a little shaky. I'm going to say Cdubs wins turn 4 with Nexus Destruction.
Ooh, game over in only 4 turns.
Yeah, I'm going to say we're going to have a quickie here.
Yeah. GrayGhost does have that 1 point on Skytear Master, though.
He does. That is true. I'm going to assume that at some point Chris is not going to just hand him the dome for the remaining 2 rounds. So we do see an activation here. As speaking of Cdubs, is going to activate, delete that pillar, wants to get that off the field so that Telakali cannot protect the 2 minions. For GrayGhost, I assume now we'll see that Yami is going to probably skirmish or move over one of the minions, kind of take a nice big step on them, and then perhaps either worship or lead to reposition herself or augment the lane push that Chris has already started from round 1.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if GrayGhost has a Stone Barricade or Dreams of Talot or something.
Yes. Oh, we're going for a skirmish targeting Telakali. Makes sense. Because as you mentioned earlier...
There it is.
Yep. Dreams of Talot. So...
Gonna move this down a little bit.
Yep. Bring up our Dreams of Talot card here while you talk.
I'm gonna go turn on the auto stack.
Okay. Oh yeah, auto stack's not actually working.
I just turned it on.
Nice. Alright, so Dreams of Talot, as you can see, you may remove a friendly pillar on the battlefield, place another friendly pillar on a target hex that does not currently contain a token or a miniature. So we see the Dreams of Talot play there, bringing out that pillar, which will allow Yami to step over the minion, and then step to wherever. Of course, this deals 1 plus a flip to the minion, but with this pillar in play now, Telakali will be able to eat the damage, so even at a max possible flip here from Cdubs, only a 1, so 2 damage, Telakali is not going to have any problem eating that damage, taking her down to 14, but keeping, more importantly, the minion alive.
Yeah. I think this game is actually going to be a lot harder for Chris to finish off with Nexus because
I take that back.
Because of that Telakali, and also the fact that he is going to have to devote some attention to not losing the Skytear Master.
True.
I think this game could drag on a while. I think we will definitely see some kills this game.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen,
I would not be surprised if we did see a Hunting for Power win, although I don't know if it's like...
Let's see what we have here.
All right, and we have a lead from hand as the last action from Yami.
Okay. I mean, that could be the case, though. Chris might just go for the all-in on the lane play. Risky, because, as you mentioned, Skytear Master already starting to roll. If he yields the dome again, then it puts it on game point. So we'll see what happens. And that pillar is going to protect those minions. All right. We see an attack against the final minion there from Ishitosk, going to delete that minion. And so, therefore, Cdubs' pushing power significantly diminished, with GrayGhost augmenting his minions' defense via Telecali and removing a lot of Cdubs' minions. GrayGhost, as you mentioned, not likely to hit that Nexus Destruction defeat condition.
Yeah, I think it's also very possible that we see, we should see a worship with Ixatos to place a pillar on the other side of those minions, so he has a little bit of redundancy to protect against Cootie shenanigans.
Yeah, in case.
But he's gonna move here.
Okay.
Nope. Oh, not gonna move.
Nope. Hold up. Wait a minute. Put a little worship in it. All right, so we are going to see that worship action come down from Ishitosk, bringing out that second pillar that you mentioned, or we're just going to go ahead and remove the same pillar.
Oh, removing a pillar. He wants to
reposition it. Interesting.
Move.
Okay.
Not sure what's so special about that hex.
I assume it's a cover hex, and so he wants to... No, that doesn't make any sense. Takali's sitting right there, so she'd be able to see anybody that went there. I
feel like keeping the pillar would have formed, because now Akuti can move up, worship, and then attack the pillar and have the illusion kill a minion.
Speaking
and Chris
of,
is going right for that play.
There we go. Akuti goes for the move action, goes for the worship action to readjust her token. There we go. We're going to attack the pillar, delete the pillar. We're going to flip against the minion using Akuti's Retribution. So unless GrayGhost has something to stop this, which he does not, there comes the pillar removal. Oh, but the 3 flip on the minion. You hate to see it.
Telecali might not have taken that anyway.
That's very fair. All right, so 1 minion down. So it does look like right now Chris is going to commit to this, but with Cytheru still in the dome, it is possible perhaps that Cdubs will just keep Cytheru in the dome, perhaps move Cytheru a little bit closer to the control point, worship to get his illusion out on the field, since we will be going into round 3 next, and it'll be time for some explosive cards to come out from both players, and then just kind of lead or hang tight in control zone 2, and try to prevent that Skytear Master from creeping up on him.
I kind of like going with Telecali here, blowing up the minion and kind of worshipping and moving into the dome. Not sure.
Also, we have the words of wisdom from Zeragul. Zeragul would like to point out that he believes, due to the fact that hunting for power is a bit more of a difficult VC now, obstinacy is sort of like a dead VC, and therefore he predicts that the game will last long. So we've kind of talked about that. Zeragul...
Yeah.
Similar feelings to what some of us had there in regards to both of those cards. We'll see what happens.
He probably spends too much time talking to us.
That's true. God, how unfortunate for him. No wonder his wife gets angry at him. All right, meanwhile, we do see that Zakola is going to activate with a worship action, a move action, and then finally attacking Yami. So GrayGhost going a little bit on the offensive. We did mention that GrayGhost's deck does seem a little bit more designed for combat. And of course, with these kinds of heroes, makes perfect sense. Going for the attack action here, but...
I'm a little confused about the positioning of that pillar.
Yeah.
He could have put it adjacent to the minion.
Indeed. Oh, but a +3 on the flip. That's what you want to see there. There's where you want your +3s. And especially since it's Nelliclin's ultimate that we just saw, Consulting the Heart. Nelliclin is not currently on the field, so that's basically a dead card in hand for the time being. So GrayGhost very happy to flip that. Yami down to 10. However, that being the case, GrayGhost does have all of his heroes... Oh, no, he still has Telecali. Excuse me, never mind. He does still have Telecali. So we do end the turn there. Ishitosk does have a lead to protect the lane. Very good. Zakola is going to be there. I assume Telecali will either challenge the dome or work to kind of stabilize the mid lane. So let's see what Chris does. Okay, there's the move from Skytear, like we predicted. Does Skytear go for a skirmish action, or does he simply go for the worship to bring his illusion? Based on the fact that he's moving back. Excuse me. Maybe not. We'll find out. Put it down! There we go.
I think Swakali can just kill a minion and then move into the dome and lead there. Oh, throwing the illusion out there.
So, going to say that you can have the dome if you lead. Oh no, he still has one action left. Never mind. So Skytear can still lead. Okay.
But now Swakali can kill a minion, move into the dome, and lead to tie the dome and win the lane, assuming there isn't some sort of Nightmares Incarnate thing to kill the other minion there.
Indeed.
Which a pillar in that location would have protected.
It would have. All right, well, there we go. So we do see that Skytear does finish with the lead from the hand. So we'll see how that ends up playing out. And so
I
to Lakali.
think he just kills the minion, moves into the dome, and leads here, right?
How did Lakali get marked? Was there a decree of Kuruma that came out that I missed? Oh, from Yami. That's right. From Yami's worship action. All right, so you are correct.
It happened like almost like over a round ago, because it was like beginning of round 1, end of round 2 now. So
back then,
it's understandable that you forget about that. I did too.
All right, and then we do see the skirmish action. So looks like GrayGhost is not going to yield the dome without a contest here, at least. Looks to be forcing a tie, assuming again, of course, that Cdubs has led with a 3 and that GrayGhost responds with a 3 of his own. We will see a draw in the dome.
Presence, there it is.
Oh, but a presence comes out. No, we won't see a tie with that one. So presence, this is one of your favorite cards. Take it away.
Oh, wow. Such an honor.
All right, your time's up. So, presence.
1 extra to control value this turn. Predict 2. Usually, it's again followed up with a lead from the deck. You can put the 3 right on top, and so essentially you get the 3 lead without having to use another card from hand. Although you do get the 1 from you do have to use the presence,
Indeed.
And then you also get 1 extra control value. So Swakali herself plus the presence plus the lead is now adding 5 value. The most Seth you can have is 4. So this is going to guarantee him the dome unless there's some sort of shenanigans I'm not thinking about.
Well, it could be the case that Lakali only led with a 2. Oh, but we see Yami coming out with the quick shot. Oh, so there are shenanigans. I love it. All right, so quick shot is going to allow for the instant defeat of an adjacent minion.
Oh, put it back. Is there a response?
Oh.
Slide.
Never mind. That's not going to happen because Slide comes out. Possibly one of the new hype cards that we've seen a lot since we started Season 2. Slide is going to allow you to slide an enemy hero within 2 hexes, 1 hex away. And of course, as we said, quick shot must be adjacent. And so now that Yami has been slid over there, no longer adjacent, which means that quick shot is going to fizzle.
So he's going to win both the lane and the dome here. That's a huge round for GrayGhost.
Very nice, GrayGhost. Wins by 1, but nevertheless, win is a win because that means that his minions don't die and that he gets to continue reinforcing his control position. Oh, and Skytear had to lead with the final judgment. Ugh. You hate to see that happen, but...
He had that. I think that was part of the thinking there when he put the pillar there. He kind of baited him into trying something because he had the slide, so he wouldn't be able to get it. And now when the control token moves forward, he has that pillar in place to protect 2 minions now.
Yep. And again, as a reminder, I don't believe we touched on this. Now in the game, when you win a control zone, you also get to draw 1 card. So GrayGhost winning both the dome and the lane here is going to give him a +2 card draw. And now the max hand size is 7. And so, more cards equals more fun.
Yep, and the OG outsider also lets you draw a card as one of the actions. So he can, and then you get 2 for the round. So he could be potentially getting up to 5 cards on this minion phase.
Indeed. So now GrayGhost does get the outsider again. Skytear is probably not long for this world. Yeah, this is not going to look well here. So Skytear is about to eat a 3+ flip from the attack, possibly then a 0 flip on the skirmish, and then a 0 flip on the shockwave, which means that with decent flips here, Cytheru may die. It's going to take some high flips, but it is totally possible. Ooh, there's 5 damage off the attack.
One thing relevant here.
Oh, 4 damage, yes, right, because of Akuti's illusion.
Akuti's illusion does provide 1 armor.
That's true. Actually, no, I've completely forgot about that, actually. Which means that, but we do see the shield slam. Or not the shield, we do see the 2 damage piercing shockwave. And so therefore that will send the 2 damage through. And we are going to see the skirmish action as well. Of course, Cytheru only gets pushed 1. You must push further away. And once after pushing him there, he can't be pushed any further. So GrayGhost does need to hit a +3, only a +1, which means that that armor saved Cytheru's life. Because without the armor, Cytheru would have been at 1 HP. That 1-point flip there would have been enough. Very well played by Chris to have that Akuti illusion armor in play. Cytheru going to live to round number 3.
One thing worth mentioning, though, by moving the outsider over there, if Akuti kind of moves out of that hex that she's in and Cytheru goes and occupies that hex, Cytheru can use a bunch of cards and piercing damage to dish out a lot of damage on that outsider without the outsider being able to retaliate from that cover hex.
Well, the outsider, he will need to get line of vision because if he's on the outsider that's outside of the dome is in the cover hex as well. But
or Akuti would have to be over there.
Yep, move Akuti down, have her attack one of the minions, have her... no, her illusion is not next to a minion anymore, but I guess you could do the move, worship to reposition Akuti illusion, and then attack the minion. Boom, boom, boom. And then, as you mentioned, you could get some free pot shots on the outsider because the outsider must target the damaging hero when it takes the skirmish or the attack retaliation. And as you mentioned, if Cytheru is in the cover hex that Akuti is in currently, not going to have line of sight, which means that essentially GrayGhost can do nothing since the OG cannot move. And there we go. Looks like Chris is...
That was actually very well placed on GrayGhost's part where he plays the outsider because Cytheru cannot hide and attack the outsider from the cover hex in the dome, and at the same time also in the cover hex outside the dome, so he won't be able to get it as easily from outside the dome either. So that was actually a very, very solid positioning.
Indeed. All right, we see a bunch of minion pings going down here. It looks like we do have the flip here. Tlakali is going to absorb the minion damage because Akuti did target the minion, one of the minions that is adjacent to a pillar. This makes sense because otherwise you'd be using your Retribution passive against one of the minions that is adjacent to the pillar, and Retribution is 1+ flip. Akuti's attack is 2+ flip, so makes sense that if GrayGhost is going to defend his minion, try to get a little bit extra damage on him.
I think Cdubs didn't see the pillar there, and he says he wants to attack the pillar instead because he didn't see it there because it was hiding in his hole.
Okay. Yep, it does seem to be the case as Akuti has restored her HP, so the attack does go against the pillar, and then the Retribution goes off freely against the minion, so dead minion.
Now, one thing that's very important to take note of here is GrayGhost now has 2 points on Skytear Master, so Chris is going to have to do something about that.
Yeah, because at this point, if Chris loses the dome one more time, it's GG.
Yeah, and if Cytheru dies or GrayGhost has another presence, I don't know there's actually anything Chris can do to stop it.
Yeah, this is a bit of a precarious situation, and seems that the chat agrees with us. This is one of those cases why, with Skytear Master, you have to be able to succeed. If you're going to go that 2-0 threat here, you have to be able to succeed in what you're doing, and GrayGhost has done a wonderful job defending Chris's assault on his Nexus. Alright, so we do see now that we are going to see the lead action coming out from Cdubs to finish off his turn there with Akuti, so keeping that one in the lane. I feel like you have to send Yami and Cytheru in, because this is actually interesting. So GrayGhost, if GrayGhost has a presence, he could simply just dogpile the dome if he ensures that the tower can't instantly explode. Because...
I cannot seem to find Chris's deck list anymore. I don't know what happened to it, but I cannot find it.
Uh-oh. Are you looking for something specific?
I was just trying to remind myself if he had presences in his list.
Chris does not. Actually, I lied. He does. He had them on Kenway. And Kenway is in the garbage, where she belongs.
He doesn't have them in this game.
Correct.
That could kind of be a little bit of an issue because... Yeah, that's the thing. You don't want to be going... you don't want to let your opponent get to chew on Skytear Master when they have presences in their deck.
Yeah, and you don't.
If you don't, yes.
Yeah. Otherwise, you could just, have a presence show off. Or presence off. Who has the bigger presence? I don't know. I don't play control. I play bloodthirsty and violent. Alright, does seem that Zakol will be the first activation here for GrayGhost. The pillar was destroyed, so we won't see any collapse plays coming out from him unless he goes and uses a Dreams of Talit or something, perhaps. But Zakol is going to move over here. Oh, is he going to go for the skirmish to kill off Setheru? Skirmish attack. So. Okay. Because even with Akuti's armor, with 2 HP here, GrayGhost does not have -1s in the deck, so even if he flips a 0... I lied, he has 1 slide, which we've seen, and that's the only one because the other slide is on his Akla. Eloquent, so I guess technically there is 1 more slide in the deck, but with this skirmish, now he can't flip against Setheru, but he can do the attack here, so unless he throws the 1 out of 40 flip here for this other, or 1 out of 39 flip for the other one, there's the migraine!
And he is projected, so this will be 3 damage to the migraine.
Alright, so migraine is a fun little card, which I'm sure we all know how this works here. But it applies disarm and does 3 damage because, again, as you mentioned, of the projection, to the target hero. So Zakol now suffers -2 attack with the new disarm changes. And Chris, you do see, or I'm sorry, you see, you're going ahead to ping that. With the illusion there. Zakol should indeed fall down 3 HP, as it is piercing, and Setheru is within line of sight. Oh,
That's not how projected works.
That's a good question. Well,
right?
Here's the thing. It does say while in line of sight with his illusion. And I know we had that specific problem, like with
that's the
action.
Other buddy is the project. The other buddy is the projected ability. That's
yeah.
And I can't count the chat thing.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
So
they're yep.
Carry on.
The other ability is the projected one. Yep.
Oh, but Zakol comes with the totemic slam. Oh, baby. I love this ultimate so much. This is such a great ultimate. All right, where are you?
Not the best, the most efficient use of it I've seen, though, but it works.
Well, listen. Oh, but the Psychic Shield, no! Oh, no! Okay, so Totemic Slam, let's go over this one first. 4 damage and apply slow to the target adjacent Emily hero. Obviously, we're going to try to smash Setheru. If the target ends adjacent to a pillar, they're not going to, obviously, because you can't push Setheru anymore. This is all, of course, going to be negated.
The hilarious part, though? You know the hilarious... If he had a Dreams or a Stone Barricade, he could have still gotten the kill.
But, well, coulda, woulda, shoulda is the name of Skytear, so... I think this card hardly needs introduction, but for consistency's sake, Skytear Shield deletes 5 damage from any power card that you play, and so, therefore, Setheru is still going to be alive. Alright, this has been a wonderful display by Cdubs keeping Setheru alive from certain death multiple times.
Oh man, that would have been pretty funny if you had a Dreams or a Stone Barricade to drop the pillar there, so that way Setheru ended next to it, so he would get the flip and kill it still through the Psychic Shield. You know, where you have to use an ultimate and a 1-mana card to get 1 damage in.
Indeed. And so we do see also Tape also not happy with the Psychic Shield there coming out. Feels bad. We've all been a victim of the Psychic Shield at one point or another. It's the reason that a lot of people don't play Noopton, ironically, saving the yellow hero instead of getting in their way this time. All right, and Cdubs going to go ahead and activate Yami now. So with Yami, what do we do here with Yami? I assume we step on a minion. I assume we challenge for the dome. Perhaps warp in on Zakol and try to burst Zakol down with some Yami Cythera coordinated fire. Yami does have all 3 mana, so if Kneel Before Me is an option. Could be, some damage, of course. Cythera does have 1 mana left. If Cdubs has like a Shattermind or something lying... nope, Shatterminds are all on Shafathi. That's not going to happen. Yeah, there's nothing good here for 1 mana that he can do with Cythera. That's a tragedy.
I'm trying to think if there's anything GrayGhost can do to get that 1 damage on Cythera this round.
Well, interestingly enough, if Yami goes and plugs up the hole, no. Like, if Yami goes so that she's directly to the right of Cythera, the answer is no. Actually, wait a minute. I have to see something. There might be one way. Let me see here. How does this card work? Because I've never seen this card. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so there is a way. If you activate Tlaakali and move her over into the center of the lane and then summon a pillar and then either use the Ishitask Worship or the From Below Ishitask's Ultimate to get over by Cythera and then punch him, but that's going to take a lot of work.
So the tunnel wouldn't work because it is a move 6 and you would have to move all the way.
Oh, that's a good point. You're
outside.
right. That's right. You don't move through minions. You're right. So the tunnel option is out. He would need to use the From Below. All right. But nevertheless, does not seem to be the case there. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, you can't get into the dome anyways. So yeah, Cythera can't. Yeah, Yami did not need to go to the right of Cythera. What am I saying? God. Anyways, so Yami is going to go for the move and the attack action there, as we see. Trying to delete some of GrayGhost's minions. Again, the flip side of this is if Chris is able to completely destroy the tower, the lane will resolve before the Skytear Master, so you can destroy the Nexus in 1 shot. The control token is within 3, which means that if GrayGhost does not defend against the onslaught that Chris is... the assault. We don't want to use onslaught since that's actually a victory card. The assault that Chris is bringing, the tower could explode here. It is a little risky given that GrayGhost still has 2 heroes to activate. And a lead from the deck with Yami. Interesting, given that Akuti has already led from the hand and is also in the lane. Okay, Ishitask going for the move action here. I assume is going to attack and destroy a minion. That seems reasonable here as Greg... Oh, no, it's the sinkhole! Okay. This is also another way, I guess, that we could do it. I didn't want to mention it because it wasn't nearly as fun, but I guess this is how we do it.
Now, do we have a redirect here?
One can only hope... Nope, that's Skytear Flux. That's not what I want to show. Where is Sinkhole?
Cdubs seems to have everything, right?
That's fair. All right, so Sinkhole, as we can see, we get to place an AoE on a target hex within 2 hexes. Of course, the AoE simply needs to be touching. It does not need to be centered on your target hex, and then you get to slide all the heroes that are within it around by 1. This is a way, dependent on positioning, that you could actually slide Akuti down, pull Cythera into that covered hex, which, since Ishitask is standing right next to, we'll be able to see Cythera and then can proceed to claw Cythera to death unless Cdubs has one last trick up his sleeve.
Yep. If GrayGhost had gone with I'm losing track of who was. If Chris had gone with Cythera before Yami, he could have moved Cythera a little bit further away and prevented that play. Although I guess then that would have created a path to get into the dome.
Indeed, as it is right now, we have the Great Wall of Heroes, which is something I think you're familiar with.
Yes. It it's a little bit interesting though because it has heroes on both sides and an outsider, so it's a mixed wall.
Indeed, and we here at Skytear welcome all sorts of collaborations. We're a global community, and we approve of that sort of thing. So there is a Great Wall in the left side of the dome here. Again, GrayGhost does have the one control point from Zakol. If Tilakali has another presence and is able to hold off the lane, then I think he just wins from Skytear Master.
Yeah, Chris messaged me saying, "Can I ask you something real quick?" I think he wants me to go. He wants me to go join the channel, so I'm gonna go over and help them real quick.
All right, I'll BS around and fill the air.
He said another channel.
Okay, that's fine. Yep, go ahead, get that resolved. We apparently have a quick rules question. So Ryan is going to go ahead and detour that and see what kind of potential shenanigans we have. Meanwhile, let's go ahead. We'll talk with the chat. Chat, how is everyone doing here? Let's see. I see some reactions here from the sinkhole. Eric wants to know what Cythera is going to do with his 9th life. Well, that life might be about expired here. Zaragul is impressed on how a 0 mana card simply kills the ultimate, and then Tape is not impressed, says that's kind of stupid. I agree, Tape. Unfortunately, my campaign to get Skytear or Psychic Shield banned was a total failure, as was my campaign to keep 2 domes in Ashen Pass. I am the king of running failed campaigns, such as life. While we have a moment here, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the Skytear Sunday series. Again, obviously, as we mentioned, we are in our 4th week of the series. Ricardo reigned for weeks 1 and 2. Kirito was the king for week 3. Currently, GrayGhost is for week 4. And so we do need some suggestions from the chat for week number 5. Who is going to be the forced hero for the king to bring? Of course, we may want to wait and see whether... But a Kneel Before Me comes out. We'll go back to that later then.
So what he was asking was he was just trying to make sure with Sinkhole, like if he let Sinkhole resolve, could he then pull Ixotos after? But at that point, if Ixotos is in the
Sinkhole,
area,
yeah,
correct. So he wouldn't be able to pull away with Kneel Before Me, so he has to do it in response to fizzle the Sinkhole.
Correct. And the nice thing is, though, based on Ishitosk's position, I didn't see exactly which hex was pinged, but I'm assuming it was one that involves Cythera, which means that if we just drag Ishitosk over to where Chris is currently hovering him, you don't want to drop him into the dome, Chris. Make him work for that. This is risky.
Here's what he mentioned. First of all, the hex he pinged was the hex that Ixotos was in before, I believe.
Okay.
Second, he was trying to say, because GrayGhost still has some actions left with Ixotos, that he can still skirmish to wherever he wants to go. So he wanted to use it later, but he had to use it there, is what he was kind of figuring out. So he was in a very rough spot, because he didn't want to have to use it there, but the sinkhole made him have to.
Indeed. All right,
and
so...
He's like, then he was saying it doesn't really matter where you can put Ixotos, because Ixotos still has a skirmish.
Right, exactly. I don't know about this. Putting Ishitosk in the dome now, you can just have Ishitosk lead. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it could always just skirmish lead, too.
You could,
that's true. Because all bars move.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens here.
But I agree, the lane probably would have made a bit more sense, because then he has to actually use the skirmish to get in there.
Well, we'll see. We are getting to that point in the game where every action does matter, every hex counts. And so...
Yeah. At the same time, though, if he was in the lane, he could, and he was going to skirmish into the dome, or if he had any card, well, he doesn't have mana. But if he was going to skirmish into the dome, he could get some damage on Yami in the process. So by putting Ixotos in the dome, it saves that damage on Yami.
True. That is a very good point. And we do see the lead in the dome. So right now, GrayGhost has 5 guaranteed in the dome as a result of an Ishitosk lead, which I'm going to assume is a 3 mana since it's from hand, and the Zakol that has also ended his activation. So in this situation, if GrayGhost pulls a presence from Tilakali and doesn't necessarily contest the lane, well, actually, if he doesn't contest the lane, then he loses. Cdubs will just end him. So this actually now makes the play here very, very interesting. So Cytheru has 1 mana. Do bring Tilakali out. Ooh. So you would have to
this
bait
is weird, because
Tilakali.
Cdubs does have the 2 minions in the lane there, so he could, instead of trying to stop Skytear Master, just go all in on the Nexus here.
Indeed. And that's what I'm thinking.
Especially since Akudi is going to have to use a move skirmish and get all the way across into the other dome, because there's no way in on the near dome.
Indeed. Yeah, I think honestly, if I'm Cdubs, I think at this point I just kind of say screw it.
Actually, Akudi's already activated and led in the lane, so
yes. So yeah, Akudi's done. So I think as Cdubs, maybe you move.
Oh, and Yami's in the lane.
Yes.
So yeah, he's going for Nexus here. The game is going to end this round.
Oh yeah, this game is over. Either Chris succeeds on his Nexus siege and blows it up, or he fails and GrayGhost will just get Skytear Master.
And that's probably why he had put Ixotosk in the dome, because he's going for the lane here, so he wants Ixotosk out of the lane.
That's fair. All right. Okay, so we're going with the move. We're going with the skirmish. All right, looks good. So in that case, Tilakali will be able to attack Cytheru in the lane, which I think is what you wanted. Oh! Why are we playing? Oh, no, that's just the tap version, because that's what happens with the TTS when you tap the card. Okay, I was going to say, wait a minute, Cytheru can't play another card.
It happens when you have the cards overlapping the heroes a little bit. They need to put their cards a little bit further down.
Ah, gotcha. Okay. I remember Tape saying that there was something about that interaction that happened. I couldn't remember the specifics of it, so thank you. All right, very good. So now, Tilakali, end the game for us one way or another. So we do see the move action. This makes sense. I agree with it. Oh, you know what I just thought about? This would be a great time. Have we seen Word of Nupton?
Yes, we have.
Dang it. That would have been a great time for Cdubs to pop Word of Nupton. Because you'd be able to disarm Tilakali since she'll be within range of the illusion, and she'll be able to heal Cytheru. Oh, no! It's a presence! No! You hate to see it. And Cdubs calls the GG.
Just type GG in the chat.
Yep. Oh, there it is. All right, so that's going to give potentially a 5 with a lead action here. And so even if Akudi does have a 3, actually, wait a minute. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that won't be enough. As Tilakali does delete the minion. Oh, that's unfortunate. That is going to end up resolving as the Skytear Master. Yep, there it is. Skytear Master. So, GrayGhost defends his title for the second week now as the king. And, interestingly enough, no deaths once again, which means that GrayGhost will continue to have an unlocked roster. We thought we could trip him up with the Ixotosk. We failed.
Yes.
Community, we need to do better. Let's go. In the chat, who do we want to see?
No Cytheru. Cytheru did not die somehow, so no deaths.
Well, Cytheru was controlled by Chris, so that would have counted against him anyway.
Yes, but still, no deaths in the whole game.
That's fair. All right, let's go ahead and hop into game 1 and talk with them real quick.
Cytheru's activation to protect him, because that combustion play with him, but I don't know if that even mattered.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe like placing you in here didn't matter either, but you could just like skirmish in, lead anyways. It's like I have to pile in the dome the last round or pile in the middle to win.
Yep.
Or not lose, I guess. So
Good
it's either
game.
way, I guess.
Good
Yeah,
game,
the thing is also
Yep.
if he has a presence, which he did, even if you pile in the dome, you still don't get
I
it.
lose. Yeah, like the round before that where it just feels bad. Yeah. Where he's like, it activates last presences and then just get blown out, waste the lead and everything. Where it could have just kept him in the lane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Probably would have been smarter.
Skytear Master is a very strong victory condition for any deck that has presence.
Yes.
Yes, it is. I probably should have brought Kenwi in, but she's the one that has presences.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I went a little. I think I went a little too hard on Yami Ekrit or Yami Akudi because it's like I can get rid of the minions and the pillars, but then it's like I'm not doing anything else. And
Yeah,
more movement effects.
You were also worried about Umbrella Rights, and he did not have that in his deck.
Oh, he didn't. Well,
Like I
just
said,
once
I'm a
they,
noob on green.
once they,
I never
once
used
they
it.
mount that many pillars, though, it's hard to actually kill the minions, so you have to get rid of them.
Yeah.
Unless you just start killing, unless you kill Takali, I guess.
Right, but these barring the ways are just useless in this.
They are.
Yeah.
The one in my hand's dead. At least I only do one. They're good flips.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes. Like Psychic Shield.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a beautiful
that?
psychic shield to keep Cytherea alive.
Yeah. Yeah, that was, yeah.
I was saying, like, if GrayGhost has like a Dreams of Talot or a Stone Barricade, the Totemus Land would still kill.
So it's the full damage. It would do like 6+ instead of the 4 and then
Yeah.
the 2.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, man,
still-
I didn't
it's
know
still
that.
effect of the same power card.
Oh, okay. I didn't know because it was split up in different sentences. That it would be in different situations or instances of damage.
Mm.
Kind of like how Shalabi's is, where it's like move, do damage, move, deal damage.
Yep. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. The other way is, other than presence, the other reason to bring Kenwee is because it would have made RG really annoying.
Yeah, well, some people are decent human beings in this world, and then some people are trolls like Tate.
People are.
It makes sure that like Nicole has to like work pretty hard to like
Yes.
push her.
Yes.
So
Ekrit would have been useful for
Um,
that too, since
yeah,
the illusion
Eckert would have been better. Obviously,
stopped anyone from.
I think Eckert would have been better.
Yeah, but I mean, you were worried about when you see those three heroes, which you've seen me draft several times. You are definitely worried about the Umbrella, right? So you have to be. You have to.
Yeah, like you can't not play around it. But yeah, at a certain point, I'm just like, there's a bunch of 2s and no barrel rights flipping.
Right.
It's just like all attack.
Mhm.
Let him talk again.
So, GrayGhost, first of all, congratulations on defending your throne. The chat is already starting to pick new ways to troll you, which will include possible candidates seem to be Shadris, Kumaya, Nantaka, Sakoshi, or Golbjorn.
I'm gonna put my hat in Golbjorn.
I'm shocked.
Golby.
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 Oh, Golby.
He's a fuzzy bear, Golby. Seconds before we all get ripped to shreds with giant bear claws.
Yeah.
All right, well, this was an exciting game.
I don't know if you guys read the lore on him, but
Nope.
that was a pretty dark lore story for him.
I've not gone anywhere near.
I've only read the little intro on the website,
Yeah, pretty much.
which is, yeah.
All right. Well,
But,
we will. Oh my
It will not
God!
flip.
What happened?
and the game's gone.
The game has disappeared. Oh
It's
no!
and here comes all the pieces.
I've never even seen that happen. Like all the pieces are stuck in the middle.
Oh no! Everything has gone terribly
Oh my
wrong.
gosh.
What have you done?
Oh no.
Tape, we broke the mod. Something's happened.
All right. Well,
Oh,
this
it
is
did. It
Would
shoved
you,
it all in the middle.
this is like
That's
a
funny.
good time to end the game.
This is-
You know, Cdubs.
Grand finale.
I was
Oh, everything.
thinking about Umbera rights. I was thinking about Umbera rights about 5 minutes before the game started. I'm like, maybe I should have went for that. I'd never played green before, so I just threw stuff
It would have
together.
been bad for you there. Obviously, like Bewitch would just
Yeah.
be better.
Yeah.
So other things coming up. Next Saturday we have the March World Qualifier
Woo!
on the Ashen Pass map. Should
Yep.
be a lot of
Yep.
fun. And if you haven't signed up but plan to, you should definitely do that. Also, last week or this beginning a few days ago, we started the March Clash.
Also
you can
on
always also on Ashen. If it's not too late to join, you can always join late. And then later today, me, RG, and our friend Zaragul will be
Not my friend
recording
anymore.
an episode of Outsiders Only, and based on his incredibly efficient.
German engineering.
Yes.
Sound engineering in this case, I suppose.
It's likely the episode might be up even today, but if not today, it should be up tomorrow.
Yes, so look forward to that. We are going to finally fulfill our promise from, I think at this point, about 2.5 months ago. We will be discussing kind of, the outsider selection. We're going to save deck tech for just a little bit longer until we can kind of figure that out. A lot of us are still trying to play around with what's efficient, what's not, what's good, what's not. But we think we have a fair idea, at least, of how to use the outsiders. So do look forward to that discussion. If you're having a difficult time deciding which of the 6 you should bring, tune into that episode and also just the general random shenanigans and disaster that show turns out to be.
Yep. Also, the last episode's very long episode about the new rules, we're not able to get our migraine in, so this week's Argo will be giving us all headaches.
Oh God, save me now. I might just skip this recording. You guys can handle it.
I'll skip with you.
Great, excellent. Zeragol, you're on your own, buddy. I know you're watching. Have fun. We'll see you next time.
Also, we have another little topic that we can make fun of RG about, so make sure you stay tuned for that.
Yeah, we're not talking about that. That's outside of Skytear. All right, so thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us on behalf of GrayGhost, Cdubs, and the unfortunate soul that I have to co-cast with. Thank you very much for joining me. Have a good afternoon. We'll see you guys next time. Take care, everyone.
Congratulations, GrayGhost.
Thank you guys. Thank you for streaming.
GG.